Welcome to Hate to Wait, where two lifelong dieters talk about their current struggles with weight loss. Diets, we've tried them all. We are not doctors. We don't play them on TV or on this podcast. Join our journey because misery loves company.
We are here.
Hi, John.
Hello, Emily.
How are you?
Very well. Busy week last week. A lot of things going on. We are up to 80 members in our Facebook group.
I know. That's amazing. Hi, everyone. Hi, new people and people who've been here since the beginning.
When I started podcasting, I learned through a podcasting course, which was called Podcasting A to Z. Someone that was in my course was, her name was Rieger Cortell, and she started a weight loss surgery podcast. So I've known Rieger ever since I started podcasting, since 2012. And I've been on her show 4 times. Apparently, I'm like their favorite guest. I'm like the Jack Benny to the Johnny Carson, the Don Rickles to Johnny Carson. I'm like the favorite guest. I don't know why.
Oh.
It's been over these past, I don't know how many years. I went back last week and had a conversation with Rieger. We kind of really got into some of the things about weight loss surgery that I'm not a fan of. And what I like about Rieger is she'll talk about anything. And I thought we really had a great conversation. With that being said, that they promoted the Hate to Wait podcast. And we have another 10 members that came over to our group. So welcome, everyone. We appreciate you being here.
Welcome.
And then Rieger had turned me on to that article that we're going to talk about a little bit later about everything you know about obesity is wrong.
Yeah, that article, wow. I thought it was going to be one of those like skimming things of, maybe it's not all about eating and exercising and restricting calories and stuff. No, this was like in depth, probably a 20-25 minute read for me because I just kept going back and rereading paragraphs of like, whoa.
Right. We will get into that.
Yeah.
But, so my week has been, it's been an average week. Was it a perfect week? No. Was there some problems? Probably. I had a slight binge the other night or whatever. And again, it's something that I fight with all the time. I don't think it was as bad as it could have been. Like I reeled it in a little bit. But for me, that has been my week. I will let you know at the end how it worked out with the weekly weigh-in. How are you doing?
My week was interesting. Once Shark Week went away and I had those 3 pounds to work on, DietBet finally came into my head and it got stuck in my head of just like, oh my gosh, I'm the same weight I was when I signed up for DietBet, which by the way, we're doing DietBet. It's a thing where for, I think 4 weeks, you put money in a pool with other dieters, I guess, or other people looking to lose weight. And your goal is to lose 4% of your weight in, I think, a month or so. I think that's what it is. Ours ends October 9th. And that 4%, when you see that number, you're like, okay, I have like 4 or 5 weeks to do this. But Shark Week came and screwed that up. And I looked at what I put down for my DietBet beginning weight. And I'm like, oh no. Oh man. And we have maybe 2 or 3 more weeks until DietBet is over. And I hope everyone else in the group likes my $35. Spend it on something good because I don't think I'm getting it back.
So let's talk about DietBet. So I went in and, you have to take a word that they give you and you have to put it down at the scale and you have to take a picture of you on the scale with the number. And then you have take a picture of you on the scale so they know that you're actually on the scale. So I'm in there and I've got the tripod and I'm running the video and I'm putting the word down there. I'm trying to take the picture and that one's fuzzy and this one's got a shadow and this is that. Then I went back and I looked at the video of me on the scale. Right. And I was like, something? Here's the question. Would I pay $35 not to go through all this bullshit? The answer is yes. So then I was like, okay, I'm done with this. So enjoy my $35 too. So between you and me, you and I, our money is donated to our members. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? Dave Jackson, who runs the School of Podcasting, he also does the Logical Weight Loss podcast, which I always forget to mention. And I finally binge listened to it. So Dave, there you go. I binge listened to your show because I found it. Even though I knew he did it, it was just one of those things that was never on my radar. I always forgot to download it. So finally I did. He's starting a DietBet Halloween to get people through the holidays. And I think his for that group is only $20. And that's at logicallosers.com/dietbet, if I remember that URL correctly.
I think it's
But
logical loss. I don't know. Maybe.
It'll be in our show notes,
Yes.
everyone. So if we ever talk about a link or an article, it's in our show notes. Go to hatetoweight.com. It's in our show notes. It'll be available on your app that you're listening to. You could just click on the cover art or swipe it, and show notes will be right there.
There you go. So even if we're back and forth about if it's right or wrong, it will be right. Emily does an amazing job with the show notes and promotion and all that. She's the captain of this ship, and I am so appreciative of her.
I wish I'd be a better captain of my diet bet.
Well, I understand that. But I mean, just the whole thing of you got to, they'll picture the video and then trying to find a picture of me on the scale that just didn't make me want to throw up. I was like, oh, God, why am I doing this? How did I even get roped in this? Jessica.
Well, Jessica can make us do anything. Well, the nice thing is nobody sees those pictures. It's not like those pictures are posted in the diet bet.
Now, here's the thing. Now that you mentioned that, you know how you make somebody motivate them? Not the $35, because I paid the $35. What would have motivated me to continue was like, listen, if you don't win this bet, we're releasing these pictures. We're putting them on your social media. Look at your face. Yeah.
That's not a thing, is it?
No, it's not. But if it was, could you imagine how motivated you'd be then?
Holy jeez, I'd be so motivated. That would be ridiculous.
Right.
Because
surprise, we're putting this on your LinkedIn.
That would be awful. Nobody would sign up, though.
Right.
I just don't think that as much motivation as we want. I was looking at something. It was an ad that popped up on Facebook, and it was somebody local who was starting a boxing fit camp or something, and they're putting the bullet points like, don't sign up for this if you don't want to have fun, if you're not a team player, if you don't have the motivation to stick with something for 6 weeks. And I was like, not for me then.
Right.
I already know. Like, don't try to reverse psychology me. I will tell you, no, I don't have the motivation for 6 weeks. No.
Back in the day when I was on the dating apps, I used to get a kick out of the app. Like, you'd go to their profile and the woman would say, I don't want a guy that does this, or this. And I was like, well, I don't want a girl that tells me not to do all that. So I guess we're not a match. There you go.
I mean, those bullet points are great when you're selling to people and you definitely don't want certain people to buy your thing.
Right.
But I mean, I think it worked because she probably wouldn't have gotten 6 weeks out of me. I would have been like, I'm sore after the first boxing, whatever. I don't want to do this anymore. Because she was ready to give you meal plans and shopping lists. And I'm like, I would be all hyped up for maybe 1 week, 2 weeks. By the third week, I'd start maybe, God, I have 4 more weeks of this left. I don't know if I could do it. And then by week 4, no, bye.
Now, this boxing thing, is there somebody you box or you just hit a bag or?
No, I think it's a boxing fit training type thing.
Okay, so no one actually, because to me, the first time I got punched in the face, I'd be like, you know what? Because I've been punched in the face before. It's not something I enjoy.
I don't think Facebook would promote a fight club on it.
Well, the first thing about Fight Club is you don't mention Fight Club.
You wouldn't advertise for it on Facebook.
That's right.
Sure.
See? So So again, I understand it. And the diet bet, listen, I'm not poo-pooing it. To me, it's just a lot of stuff going on. Dare I say it might not be for people that are not happy with their body or something like that, where you have to, I know the pictures don't go on the site.
Well, let's talk a bit about the article that you mentioned and that you read, because that leads into it. I was thinking how the diet bet is completely opposite of the article that you read, and you talked about how body shaming, fat shaming, even fat people don't want to make a club with other fat people, apparently,
Right.
because the gist of the article, you can probably speak to it better than I can, because for me, it went in like 10 different directions of just like, here's how we view fat people. Here's how doctors are treating fat people. Here's how the government is treating obesity and overeating and how they're adding to the problem. And it's all wrong and we're coming at it completely wrong.
All right. So for me, and I've had this problem for a long, long time now, because I consider myself a food addict. And what I say is that I medicate with food. When I'm having problems, when I'm depressed, when I'm upset, when I'm hangry, hungry, angry, all that, I turn to food. Not alcohol, not drugs, not marijuana, and none of that stuff. Food is what lights me up. So now, when I used to work in the elevator business, our medical benefits, you could go for what they used to call the cure. So if you were an alcoholic or you were a drug addict, they would send you away for 90 days, 3 months. They would send you somewhere for rehab. But I could not go to the Duke University obesity place to get, and I said, really, that's not fair. So they don't treat obesity as a disease. And then they said, well, alcohol is a disease. I said, well, they can just stop drinking. I can stop eating. They can stop drinking. You can stop. That guy can stop, snorting heroin or whatever they're doing. We all have these things. So that, to me, because they don't wear their addiction on the outside. Well, meth people do with the teeth. But besides that, there's a lot of other people, they don't wear their addiction on the outside like we do. Now, there are some people that have food addictions that don't do that, because there's other things through, anorexia and bulimia, which are also horrible. They might not wear it on the outside like we do. The thing that drives me crazy is the body. Our own body is against us. Because if you lose 4% or 3% of your body weight, your metabolism shuts down like 13%. And I might be wrong with the numbers on this. It's in the article. 13%. It drops your temperature of your body, so your metabolism slows down. So the more and if that's not enough, not that it just slows down your metabolism so you don't burn as much, what it does is it fires up all the hormones in your brain that makes you hungry, that makes you want to eat, all that. It's like it's fighting you. It's like you're in a fist fight with your own body trying to do this. So then they're like, yeah, eat a salad, take a walk. You. I got to bleep that. But it's so.
We're marked explicit.
I know. I just, again. So it's not that easy. And again, there's a lot of shame in how I am. You saw it when I went to podcast movement, trying to get out in public, trying to move around. There's a lot of shame in that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a constant fist fight. And when I read the beginning of the article, I was like really depressed, and it just kept getting worse. Like when you go to the doctors and the doctor says, well, I have a bad knee, lose weight. I have this, lose weight. Not the answer to everything is, maybe everything is lose weight. How am I going to do this? What am I going to do? Treat this and the others will go away. They won't treat this, but they'll treat when you finally get diabetes, and they'll treat when your knees are shot, you need new knees, and they'll treat all the effects of this. Why won't they treat this? It seems like it would be cheaper and economical to treat this now than to treat all the things that happen because of this.
Well, a lot of their treatment, and they talked about this in the article, is telling people to eat less and exercise more, so that, and it's funny, I really didn't realize this. The article kind of talks about, from the medical profession standpoint, they are told that if somebody over a certain weight, I think it's like 200 pounds, comes in, you have to talk to them about their weight, no matter what they come in for. And this is why I'm one of those people. I don't go to the doctor unless a limb is falling off, pretty much.
Right.
Unless I know I need antibiotics for something, I'm not going to the doctor because, hey, I have a sore throat. Okay, get on the scale. Why? Why? Like, telling me to lose weight will not get this strep throat to go away. Just no. And that's why I don't go. And I mean, I go for the women thing because they send me a postcard and tell me to come. And like I make sure to set that appointment as soon as the other one is over and I'm like, hey, can I set my appointment for next year? They're like, really? You don't? I'm like, just let me set it because I'm not going to call you. I'm never going to call you for anything unless, again, something is falling off or go like
Right. There's
really,
a real problem.
yeah.
Right. I get that. And no, I don't mind them talking to me about weight, but there is so much more to this. The losing weight is not a medical it's multifaceted. It goes across all disciplines of medicine. Yeah. Not only is it physical, but it's psychological, and it is something else I can't think of right now. There's three things: psychological. Well, I hate doing podcasts with my brain.
When we're put on the spot for anything, math or words.
Right. It's the worst. So again, and it seems to be that the people, the psychologists or the psychiatrists and the medical people, they don't want to talk to each other. Oh, that's their discipline or something. But I think for this to really work, you have to have a multifaceted plan with people, and it has this is why we started this podcast. This is why we have this group, because we can come together. We have a closed group. We can feel comfortable and safe in that group to say anything and know that there's not, besides Adam, he's the only, what I say, skinny. I don't know if he's the only skinny person in the group. But what I'm saying is that, there's no one in here that's going to shame us. We're here for support. And I think that's what we need, because we're all going through the same thing. There's not one time that I tell a story that someone else doesn't say to me, I know something that happened to me, or someone else tells a story and that's happened to me.
Yeah.
So the people that aren't afflicted with this, God bless them. You know what I mean? I applaud you, and that is fantastic. But there is more to that, what's going on, than this. All right. So I'm going to say, I'm sorry.
The other thing that gets to me about this article is how obesity is perceived by others. And they talked about a study, and this is going to stick with me now, where they talked to 3 to 6 year olds and they asked them what they thought of fat people and the words that they would use. And 3 to 6 year olds were already having a fear of getting fat. Like that would be the worst thing to happen to them. 3 to 6 year olds. And then they talk to other kids about what words they associate with being fat. And people say slob and gross and lazy. And it's like, are you kidding me?
No. And to be honest with you, it's a stereotype, and it's that you can't break. And people are going to feel that way. Now, they might not outwardly say it nowadays in the climate that we're in right now, but they certainly are thinking it. Because like when you see somebody in Walmart and they've got like a bunch of fruit roll-ups and soda and stuff in the cart, the first thing, people goes through their mind is,
so there you are, Tubby.
And it's not fair. It's absolutely not fair.
And especially if they're on one of those wheelie scooters, just because,
I won't get on one.
I know. I hate to, like you've mentioned this before, you won't get on one just because of the stereotype of that. But the thing, like, you need it for your knees. Jeez,
listen, I would rather die of a heart attack in the aisle than ride one of those scooters in a place like that. I would rather do that. And that's why, I'm going to be honest with you, it's one of the reasons why I shop on Amazon and I have groceries delivered and stuff like that, because I don't go out and do it. I don't want to be out there. A lot of times, people that are morbidly obese, we cocoon. We stay inside. We don't, we protect ourselves. I think I'm trying to remember who I was talking to, but I said, basically this, me being obese has basically turned me from an extrovert to an introvert. It has completely changed my whole personality. So there you go. And, I know, and we have a fantastic audience, and we have a fantastic support group, and they're all like, go, don't worry about it. Don't say that. I know it's easy. It's easy to say that. And I appreciate everything that people are saying. But, again, it's me. I have to live with that. You can feel the stares. You can see the smiles. You can see the elbow pokes and stuff like that. We're fat. We're not blind or deaf.
Yeah, that would be the worst, is like my hearing. I think I have crazy supersonic hearing when people are talking about me ever since grammar school, just because I would hear them make fun of me. And then I would hear what they were planning to do, and I'd be like, I'm just paranoid. And then it would happen. Like I remember, this was 5th grade. This was like probably the worst thing it was pretty, like, I walked in after lunch and I knew that like the kids were going to play a prank on me. And what they did was they found all the books in the school library about elephants and put them on my desk.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I would have found the biggest, heaviest book and found the first person to put that in there, and I would have beat them with the book.
Well, I didn't even know what to do. It's
I
like,
know. See, me, I go to anger. I go to anger, and then, yes, it's definitely, and then, because they can think whatever they want, but when they feel that they can do that to me, like they're going to bully me that way, somebody's getting an ass whooping.
Well, and the funny thing was, I would tell my mom these things. I'm like, Mom, they're really mean. She's like, no, you go to a Christian school. There's no way they can be mean. I'm like, oh my God, when I went to public school, nobody gave a shit how much I weighed because there were people bigger than me in public school, but in private school and a Christian school, there were like 30 kids. So if you were just a slight bit overweight, you were like the only one in the class who was like that. And so that happened to be me. And then when those books happened, one thing though, I did like take one and put it in my backpack and keep it at home so that whoever took it out got a late fee. Like that's the only, whatever.
I'll show you.
I told you, elaborate ruses. I don't get angry. I have elaborate ruses planned for people who piss me off.
I would have said to your mom, Mom, are you kidding me? Christians, they nailed their leader to a cross. You don't think they're going to tease a fat kid? Are you kidding me? I don't know.
No, yeah, it was one of those things. Oh, okay. Okay. So I will talk about one thing I'm doing this week. I got back into Pokemon Go. I don't know why. I opened the app up. Hey. I got back into it. It's been nice out. Oh, I know why. Because I opened it up and there have been, for people who know the game, my neighborhood is blank. There are no like spawn spots in my neighborhood. But now there are spawn spots right down the street. So I walked down the street and I was able to catch some Pokemon. And I was like, oh, they made them closer to me. Great. Because I live on a hill. So if I have to walk down that hill, I know I have to walk back up. So if I can stay on the flatter part, I'm good. And I will walk that like tiny bit of street for 15 minutes. And now I do that like 3 times a day. I leave my house and I go find some Pokemon. And then I come back. And I'm like, okay, I got to catch them all. I'm back into this again. And I'm walking. And it's funny because I have my step counter. I'm not wearing the bracelet anymore. I have to charge it. But I have the step counter that's on my phone. I'm holding the phone anyway. And I've been trying to get 8,000 steps by 8 o'clock every night. And I've done that. So I'm very proud of that.
Wow. That's definitely worth, yeah, there you go. I mean, that's fantastic. So one of the things about, I guess I was talking to Rieger during the podcast about this, and your body shuts down as you're trying to lose weight. So the one thing you can do is like, okay, you want to shut down? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start lifting things up and putting them down. Weight training to build muscle, because if you build muscle, your body has to feed that muscle. So then it can't really slow your metabolism down. So it's back to lifting weights for me, which, to be honest with you, I can do upper body. Upper body works, I can still... I have a very strong upper body still. But so that's what I'm working on right now. Lifting.
And the nice thing is you can do that at your desk too.
Not really, but there's too much expensive equipment around here to have dumbbells and stuff. I don't know. I could see that now. I break my mixer or something because I drop a dumbbell. As much as we would like to say, we're in this position right now where we can't exercise and we need to lose weight so we can exercise. Your body is not letting you do that. So as much as you would like to, I think that you still have to figure out some way of weight training or lifting weights or building muscle so that your metabolism doesn't shut down. So we'll see what happens. And to be honest with you, I think that's what saved me this week. I've only been doing it for 3 days. I can't wash my hair right now because I can't get my hands above my head. But I think, that would work. So for me, if I did 8,000 steps, I'd be crippled. So I applaud you, but there's just nothing I can't do that. I mean, if I do 1,200 steps and I can't walk for 2 days, for me, the weightlifting seems to be working out a little bit, and we'll see what happens. And maybe that'll change things. It'll keep the metabolism going. And I'll tell you one thing it does do is I try to do it somewhere the earliest in the day that I can, Because if I do it late in the day, it really, really makes me hungry.
Yeah.
It really fires things up. It's like, you know something? You just lifted a lot of weight. You need calories. I'm like, hey, there's plenty of stuff in here to eat. I'm like the mother of the house. It's like, there's food in the cupboard. Go eat that. We're not going out.
Well, and it was funny. Dave was talking on one of his episodes of Logical Weight Loss. He was talking about how he was listening to a podcast and they talked about food and our bodies being like fridges with freezers. So we take all this food in and we put it in our fridge.
Right.
But if we don't eat it, you know, if our body doesn't use that food or fuel, puts it in the freezer. And unfortunately, we keep putting things in the freezer and having to buy more freezers and make more fat. But then we're not using that energy. We're not, you know, taking extra fat and storage out to give us energy. It's like, no, I'll just eat something else. And our body just doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's a great analogy. I like that. Yeah. It works. It definitely does work.
So should we talk about some of the Winning Wednesday posts?
We can do that.
Yay. This is where the Winning Wednesday music would come in. I really have to come up with something.
Yeah. All right. I task myself to come up with Winning Wednesday music. I will present to you music, and then we will do something for Winning Wednesday.
No, I'll do some vocals. I'll do like some vocals and send them to you.
Okay. Would it be better to pick the music and then do the vocals, or try to? Okay, so let's pick the music. You do the vocals. I'll put everything together.
Cool.
All right. Winning Wednesdays.
Winning Wednesday. So we have Connie, who finally got serious about this. She's stuck to a plan for 1 week so far and has lost 4 pounds and 1 inch. That's great.
All right. We have Julianne Stahl back to the gym schedule 2 to 3 times a week. This is week 4. Congratulations.
Yay. Can we have a doo-doo?
I was just heading for that. I have 2 mouses. I have mice, and I was moving the wrong mice.
Michelle had to buy new clothes. Yay.
Deborah, I haven't gone up in weeks. I even traveled to a kart race last week. I think that's like the Indy cars kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
Last travel race of the year. Still have home track races. Those are easier to deal with.
Yeah,
so
she's talked before about when she goes to races.
I'm a big race fan too. I didn't know that she was a race fan. How about that? That's we'll have to check that out. We'll have to compare notes.
Jennifer went to an amazing birthday this past weekend. She gained 7 pounds, left the self-shame in the rearview mirror though, and the party was totally worth it. So that's great. She jumped right back on the wagon. So that's awesome, Jennifer.
Yeah, I did that a couple of weeks ago. I went up 10. So not that I'm trying to say, that I went up 10. I went up 10.
Let's brag about our weight gain from now on.
Let's not do that. And
can we do a doo-doo?
I know that. Yeah, I know that. I don't have. I had the shame too. So congratulations for jumping back on there. Dave consistently drops half to 1 pound a week. That's great. My key is not eating for 16 hours, means skipping breakfast or no late night snacks. But in the end, shocking, less calories is leading to more weight loss.
Yeah, that's great. Becky just got her labs back. Her A1C is down 6.0 to 5.5, and she really has to cut back on her sugar. And now to cut the other carbs.
Brendan continued with water and meat lifestyle, down another 1.2 kilograms or 2.5 pounds.
Thank you for giving us that conversion, Brendan.
Yes, because we wouldn't know. If you'd gave us stones, we would have been freaked out. Daph competed of my first blog post about my journey. Just need to get the website up and running. Well,
yeah, Brendan, let us know about your blog, and I'd love to follow that journey, and we can put a link in the show notes too, so let us know when that blog is up. That's cool.
I've now wanted to do that. Excuse me. Hold on.
Trina just started intermittent fasting on Sunday night. She has not cheated. She didn't realize all the stuff she consumes between 8 p.m. and noon. Right? I know. That's the crazy thing with intermittent fasting. The hardest part has been drinking her coffee with no creamer. So we're so glad you're here, Trina, and congratulations on intermittent fasting with us.
Yeah. It's funny, and I didn't realize this before because I wasn't doing it correctly. If you drink coffee with artificial sweetener in it, it breaks your fast.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that.
What were you drinking it with?
Artificial sweetener and cream. So I was really breaking my fast.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. They've done studies to show that even the artificial sweeteners, if the sweetener touches your tongue, it signals to your brain to release insulin,
Oh.
even if it's artificial and 0 calories. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The one thing that they do say is it's okay if you're using toothpaste, like that's such a negligible amount of sweetener that's in toothpaste, which, oh my God, why are they sweetening my toothpaste now? Like, I don't care. Just make it plain tasting. I don't care that it tastes like nothing. Just add a little bit of mint. Fine. I don't need it sweet. But there's some toothpaste out there that don't have sweetener in it. I just don't get why there's sugar in everything.
Because it's sweet?
But toothpaste, come on.
No, I get it. All right, so I tried to check out this app that you had mentioned here.
Moodpresso?
Yeah, and it's not yet ready for the iPhone. So
it's not.
No.
No. I found this great app. It's called Moodpresso. It's for Android. It's not really diet related, but it's been kind of helping me with mindfulness and staying mindful and keeping my energy up. So if you have an Android, it's free. It's Moodpresso. You watch a little video, you play some games. It's similar on the iPhone to something like Headspace, if you've played that, or the mind, I don't know, not the mind training ones, but it's more just like take these deep breaths with us and then play this game to release your stress, or make this sentence up that'll make you laugh. And it's like, I don't know, it's a really nice app. So I just threw it in there.
Yeah, because I need that sometimes because I'll tell you, I don't know if it's the dieting or whatever. I've been very jumpy and very quick to emotion, if I could say. And it's not a good thing. So sometimes I need something like that. So I was looking forward to it. But as of yet, not for Apple. But okay.
Which is surprising. I'm surprised that Android got an app before Apple did. And the thing is, it even had the little Apple logo on the website, which was why I initially posted it. And then I saw it didn't have links to it.
I would probably think that Apple is still probably hasn't approved it yet. They're still probably trying to go through the approval process because Apple's, they're little sticklers about stuff like that at times. All right. I think it's time.
It's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the moment you have all been waiting for. It's time for the weigh-in.
All right. Odd week.
It's me. All right. I'm down 2 pounds. Yay. So I'm happy about that because I was up 3 last week, but I'm down 2. I lost the Shark Week weight. And actually, it's funny. I lost more weight because I was up by the end of Shark Week. I had gone up another 2 pounds. So I lost actually like 4 pounds since then. But since our last weigh-in, I'm down 2 pounds. I'm happy about that. Shark Week is over. There's no Shark Week until after DietBet is done. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a... I'm so flabbergasted about DietBet. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Right. So I said, because sometimes because of the DietBet, I mean, yes, if you can do it, but sometimes we're not that disciplined. And what happens is we start doing things like we're not eating or we stop drinking. Because
that's what I worry about. I already started seeing signs of it, of last night being like, okay, I'm going to take an Epsom salt bath, which will, take out toxins, and Epsom salt is good for you. And I'll take my magnesium before bed, which will cleanse me out tomorrow morning. And I'm like, oh no, I'm doing this again. This is what I was trying to get away from. But I guess for a while I was just in maintaining mode, even though I wanted to lose weight. But now I'm being a little bit more conscious. I'm walking more and I'm actually putting my calories in. I know I don't have to, but I think it's just better for me to be more mindful about what I'm eating.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. For me, I am down 2 pounds.
Yay! I love when we both have losses.
Yes. I'm happy about that because, like I said, it wasn't a perfect week. There was some binging in there. There was yo-yoing weight back and forth. I really don't I think I got on a scale one time. I think it was Monday. And I was like, oh no. But then I kind of buckled down. And then, and maybe this thing too is with the podcast, it's after this podcast is usually when I do my worst damage.
Me too. And then I
Yes.
make up for it
Then
when
I try to
Sunday
make up-
comes and I listen to it and I'm like, oh yeah, I got to be good for this.
Right. So yeah, it's exactly. It's like, I got 5 days. It's like I got another 3 days to try to get this off. So maybe, after this, try not to celebrate too much or celebrate in other ways that are not food related. So that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. So if you're still listening, and we appreciate that you are, what I would like to ask you is a favor. If you have friends that you think that would appreciate this podcast, do me a favor and then tell them about it. And if they don't know how to listen to one, grab their phone and show them how to subscribe. It's really easy to do. If everybody here does that, we will grow the audience and we will help other people. And we would really appreciate that. And if they don't want to listen to podcasts, tell them about the group. Have them come in the group and they can watch it here. That would be great too. We're just trying to spread this around, spread the support. We would love that if you would do it. And you can tell them just to go to hate2wait.com/Facebook. There you go.
Yeah. The other thing is, we're recording this Thursday, and the Sunday, which is the day before this comes out, is International Podcast Day. So even if you are listening and you find joy in podcasts, maybe tell a friend about a podcast that you listen to. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be anyone.
Yep.
You could celebrate International Podcast Day all the time. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yep, because we love podcasting.
We do.
I listen to a ton of them. And I just think that if there is a hobby or niche that you are in, that you are really passionate about, there's a podcast out there that's talking about it. So find your people. And we're really glad that you are our people.
Yeah.
All right. Next week, we will be back, hopefully continuing the downward trend. And everybody else out there, you're doing great too. And even if you're not, keep hanging in there. It'll get better. If you keep doing it, it'll get better. All right. We will see you next week.